Welcome back to Courtview. Tonight, a tiny pet becomes the center of a real-life courtroom storm, a frantic child, a babysitter's mistake, and two adults' trust ripped apart on a night out. Tanya Sanchez says her daughter's hamster was seriously hurt after the sitter removed it from its cage and lost track of it. The sitter insists it was an accident. This is small money and huge emotion. Vet bills, a traumatized child, and the question of who should pay when care fails. What really happened in that frantic minute when the pet vanished?
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is a case of Sanchez versus Wu. Mrs. Sanchez, you are suing Ms. Wu for $325 for veterinarian bills and harm to your pet. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wu, you say the plaintiff is responsible. Is that correct?
Yes, Miss.
I'll start with you, Mrs. Sanchez. What happened?
Your Honor, I'm here today to sue Mrs. Kelly over here. She was my daughter's sitter. I have a 3-year-old. My husband and I went on a date night. And,
3-year-old boy or girl?
Girl. Her name is Stella. But we went out that night and I left Miss Kelly a list. Not too long, left her some emergency contact information, just to kind of keep her going, know what to expect, like you would any other
things that you would leave for a sitter.
Most definitely.
Okay.
With that being said, she deviated from that list.
So you planned a date night with your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Wu is your babysitter.
Yes.
Is she a normal babysitter or a new babysitter?
Your Honor, actually, she was referred to me by my neighbor.
Okay, so you got a referral, but she was new.
Yes.
It was her first time sitting for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You all were deciding to go to where? Dinner or what?
My husband actually surprised me with movie tickets and then take me out to a new restaurant by the beach.
Well, that's nice. I love a restaurant by the beach, don't you? Right. Love it. So can you give the court some idea of what kind of things are on your list?
So typically just, feed her a healthy dinner. I don't like feeding my kid junk food. Clean up, do the dishes, have my daughter, I like to engage her and teach her, just right from wrong, how to clean up after herself. So to clean up after the evening, play a few board games. I don't really like her watching too much television. With that being said, half of the list got done. And like I said, she had deviated from it and took out a hamster that was not even on the list.
What? Okay, so that's why you're here.
Yes.
She took the hamster, which is your daughter's pet, out of the...
It was a cage. So I have a cage, a little setup for a Snowflake is the hamster's name.
Snowflake.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she took Snowflake out and what happened?
From what we were told, she had texted me. My husband and I were having dinner. I didn't get the text, but when she called frantically. You hear my daughter still in the background, just hysterical. She's sobbing. I thought she had an emergency, like I thought she had fallen or something, and that wasn't the case. Kelly had told me that she had built a maze, taken out Snowflake, built a maze, forgot about Snowflake while giving her a bath. If I can present you with this evidence here. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Wu, when you got the call about babysitting for Mrs. Sanchez and her husband, oh, look at Snowflake.
Yeah.
Snowflake got a sweater.
Yeah.
That is precious. So when you got the call about babysitting for the Sanchez family, you are a babysitter, you babysit a lot.
Yes, I am a college student at U of M, and I've babysat for her.
The U of M? Which U of M is this?
Michigan.
Well, go blue.
Yeah, go.
Well, go blue. That's my college.
Yeah.
So you are a supremely intelligent being. And, I'm only teasing. So you are a student at the University of Michigan. You babysit as a way to make extra money.
Yes.
And so this wasn't your first babysitting job.
Yeah, I have babysat for the Early family.
Okay.
For 3 years now already.
And so when you got the call, you said you'd go babysit for them.
Yeah.
Was there anything on the list of details that Mrs. Sanchez left that you didn't understand or was outside the bounds of your normal babysitting duties?
No.
All right. And so she says that during the course of your babysitting, you decided to take the pet hamster out of the cage and play a game with the hamster.
So after Stella and I had dinner, we did dishes together and we took out the trash together, which both were on the list. And Stella showed me Snowflake, and I saw how cute and adorable she is. So I asked if we could take her out and put her in if we could take her out of her cage.
You asked the 3-year-old, could we take Snowflake out?
Yes.
And that's when you get the call, Mrs. Sanchez, at dinner.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's the worst. I mean, when you finally get out as a parent and just have a minute to yourself, it is nothing like getting that call and then you're hearing shrills and screams on the other end because nobody can find Snowflake. All right, and what happened?
We built her a maze, and I made sure all the 4 walls were sealed completely, and the walls were about yay high, which is about 2-3 times the height of a hamster. So I have no idea how she could have gotten out. Actually, Your Honor, I have a video of the maze of the hamster.
I'd like to see it.
Yes.
You submitted it to the court?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can someone please play the video of Snowflake's maze? Okay.
As you can see, the walls are built up really high, and there's no way she could have gotten out. And all 4 corners are sealed, and as you could just see how small Snowflake is, I really don't know how she could have gotten out of that maze.
So this was very creative. However, what happened to Snowflake if you say all 4 corners were sealed and the hamster couldn't get out? What happened?
I'm not really certain. We went to take a bath, and then when we came back, during the bath, Stella was asking about Snowflake, so we went back to go see her, and she wasn't in the maze anymore. We looked around. Stella was kind of freaking out a little bit. She was screaming and crying, and we looked under all the furniture.
And you couldn't find Snowflake anywhere?
No.
And that's when you get the call, Mrs. Sanchez, at dinner.
Yes, sir.
And that's the worst. I mean, when you finally get out as a parent and just have a minute to yourself, it is nothing like getting that call and then you're hearing shrills and screams on the other end because nobody can find Snowflake.
Yes.
All right, so you come home. Where's Snowflake? Do you ever find Snowflake?
So it took us, we rushed home, we got back to my condo, my husband and I, and we're looking, the 3 of us. It took us about an hour, maybe a little bit longer than an hour to look for her.
And where was
study. Kelly ended up finding her underneath a pile of toys. She picked her up
somewhere else in the room, not inside the maze.
Not in the maze, Your Honor.
And what condition was she in? Was she okay?
She was completely fine, and Snowflake was alive and moving and well when I found her. But Miss Sanchez, she grabbed Snowflake from me, and on her way to put her back to her cage, she dropped Snowflake.
You dropped it? She says you dropped it. Did you drop?
In the franticness, yes, I did, but I was freaked out because it wasn't moving. Our little Snowflake wasn't moving. She was still, she was not moving.
Ms. Wu says she was alive and well.
Well, she was still, Your Honor. She was not moving. And
she was alive and well.
She was under stuffed bear that we couldn't have crushed her at all. And
so it was just a stuffed bear?
Yes.
All right, I've heard enough. This is the problem here.
This is the moment where everything changes. The hamster is found, then dropped in panic, and it won't move. Legally, duty of care and foreseeability collide. The sitter left the pet unattended, and the owner's frantic reaction may have made things worse. Emotionally, we feel raw panic, blame, and the absurd cruelty of small tragedies. This short clip reframes negligence as human error and empathy. It forces a legal question about cause and proximate harm.
The price that you're suing for is $325. How much did you pay Ms. Wu, the babysitter? You didn't pay her at all after?
No, I did. I excused her when we found our little Snowflake, and I excused her, but I paid her for her services that night.
Okay, and how much did you pay her?
$120. Your Honor, I believe I shouldn't have to pay the $325 because she's asked. I offered to pay for another hamster, but she refused, and she's asking me now to pay not only for the hamster but for the cage and for like food and for other hamster supplies that none of which were damaged within this incident.
Yes. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, this was a really unfortunate accident, but it was avoidable. And both of you have a part to play in it. It's the determination of this court that the judgment will be for the plaintiff. You already paid Ms. Wu for her services $120. Mm-hmm. You're only suing her for $325, which is the cost of the bills, which is what you submitted to the court, right?
Yeah,
and it's a cost of what? To replace and buy another hamster?
The hamster, the cage, the food, the toy.
Well, yes, water. Cage.
Well, Your Honor, my daughter is traumatized. My husband.
What does that have to do with her trauma? Doesn't have anything to do with the cage.
Replace the hamster, Your Honor.
But you're not suing for trauma. You're not suing for emotional distress. You're suing for the hamster being injured, right?
Yes, Your Honor. How am I to replace
How
that?
much does it cost to get another hamster? That's what I want to know.
There's on the bill, I think it's $25, Your Honor.
All right, so it's $25 to get another hamster.
Yes.
And then you can get another hamster.
Yes.
Did you pay any veterinarian bills related to taking Snowflake to the doctor?
Yes, I did.
How much were those?
I believe it's under
Here we are.
something.
$168.45. So at the end of the day, $168.45 is the cost of everything you paid for with the hamster, plus the $25 it would take to get another hamster. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the total of that is $193.45 would then allow you to get another hamster and be refunded for the vet bills. In light of all of this, I think both of you all had a part to play in Snowflake's unfortunate demise. And for that reason, I think you both need to split the fees that were incurred trying to save Snowflake and replacing the hamster for Stella. I do believe you performed your job, though, in terms of babysitting, Ms. Wu. I will say that. But I think you are responsible for the things you did wrong that evening, which was leaving the pet unattended. For that reason, it's this court's determination that the plaintiff is owed $96.72. Judgment for the plaintiff. Court is adjourned.
The ruling splits responsibility. A small payout with a big message. Caretakers must foresee harm, and owners face consequences of panicked reactions. This case lands like a sting because it's about trust broken during a tiny night out and a child's trauma over a beloved pet. It forces us to ask what reasonable care looks like in everyday situations. Would you have left the pet alone? Would you have handled the panic differently? This case looks small on the surface, a pickleball final, but it explodes into betrayal, broken promises, and money lost on the court. Tabitha Sunder expected a partner who would fight for the prize. She got Joseph Bamry, who admits he wasn't himself that day, and whose wandering attention may have cost them everything. This is about more than a missed shot. It's about trust in competition and the real cost when a teammate lets you down. Who deliberately gives up on a teammate's dream, and why?
This is the case of Sunder versus Bamry. Ms. Sunder, you are suing Mr. Bamry for $2,450 because you say he lost a match on purpose.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The defendant, Mr. Bamry, you say the other team just played better.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Take me back. What kind of match was this?
This was a championship. I had met Joe like 4 years ago. We were matched up. It was a fitness club. They had a championship at that time going on.
A championship in what sport?
A pickleball.
Oh, pickleball. That's all the rave. Everybody's talking about that and playing pickleball. I've never played. So, all right. So
we won the first 4 games that morning. And then it was the 5th game after lunch. And he was flirting with this lady on the other team. Well, after that, he just kept messing up. It was like on purpose. We were there to win.
So the $2,450 you say he owes you, what kind of damages are those?
Okay, well, I feel that's the half. We got $2,500. I felt he owed me that plus my expenses. The whole thing comes to $2,450.
So you're saying you spent money to go have a chance to win $5,000. Is that the prize?
Yes, and we're both good enough.
And you incurred expenses for this trip. And you say he did not play to the best of his ability.
Correct.
Coming up.
Ms. Sunder, did he ever say to you, I am really feeling awful today?
No, not a word. And we did well on the first 4 games.
Did you play to the best of your ability, Mr. Bamry?
Your Honor, I tried, but there was a few things going on at the moment. I wasn't feeling well. We did win the first 4 matches, but when it came to the final round, I have custody of my son, by the way. He's 3 years old, and he was feeling sick, so his babysitter called me, and that was on my mind.
So you were sick or he was sick?
He was sick, and I was feeling sick as well, and I was
What were you sick from?
Well, because I was stressing out. I was nervous. I was playing against... The opponent was my girlfriend, and I didn't know she was going to be in the finals.
So you're saying you didn't throw the game, Mr. Bamry. You're saying you just had a bad day.
Yes.
You didn't feel well. Your son didn't feel well.
Yeah, he was on my mind, and I started to gain a
Did
fever.
you tell your partner that, Miss Sunder? Did he ever say to you, I am really feeling awful today?
No, not a word. And we did well on the first 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
We
And all of a sudden on that 5th game, he just didn't feel well. She says you were flirting.
I flirted afterwards. I was congratulating her on.
Was he flirting before or after?
There was a break. There was a lunch break, and then before we began, he's carrying on with this woman who
Carrying on how?
flirting with, like they knew each other.
Donna, it's
I
my
didn't know
girl-
it was his girlfriend.
That's my girlfriend.
But I didn't know that. I mean, it didn't seem right too when we're opposing teams. When you get in for pickleball, you get really very serious. And
You knew when you got on the court it was your girlfriend.
Yeah, of course, Your Honor.
All right. She says you were flirting.
he was making beginner mistakes, things I'd never seen him do before.
All right. So, Miss Sunder, you have a partner that has become extremely disadvantaged by the way he feels, the way his child feels, the way Boo Boo the Fool feels, because that's who you must think that I am to believe this nonsense that you're over here testifying to, Mr. Bambry. I've heard enough. It's the opinion of this court. Mr. Bambry, you had this woman come out here under the guise that you were going to go after it no matter what. You're going after the prize. She spent money to do that. Now, Miss Sunder, you were never guaranteed that you were going to win the big prize money, right? But you basically got a guarantee from your partner that I'm going to show up and play to the best of my ability, right? So this court does not believe that you are owed the entitled $2,450 because you did, in fact, win $1,250, which is half of $2,500. So it is this court's opinion that you are owed the difference, which is $1,200. And Mr. Bambry, the next time you decide to get someone to enter a competition with you, you show up and be your very best. Judgment for the plaintiff for $1,200. Court is adjourned.
This ruling says something simple. When you enter a competition together, you carry each other's expectations and you can be held to them. Emotionally, it stings because the harm is so human. Wasted time, spent money, and humiliation on a public court. Would you sue a partner who threw a match? Would you expect an apology to be enough? If you found this breakdown eye-opening, like and subscribe to Court View for more cases like this.